Hello, my name is Cosmic Kyle, and this is my draft recap video for GLDL Basculegion Division, Season 1 of Generation 9. The draft format had all Pokemon in Generation 9 except for Box Art Legends and Groudon and Miraidon, as well as Snom and Sunkern banned, which means the Paradox and all new Legends are all fair game. Split amongst 4 tiers, we had to select 11 total Mons, 6 being from each tier, and then 5 that we had up to 300 points to use however we wanted. In this draft, I went in with pretty much no draft plan. I had a couple Pokemon I knew I wanted to grab, but other than that, it was just whatever I felt like grabbing at the time. And I think I actually did a really decent job with this draft. I really like this team. I ended up with the 7th pick out of 12 total people, so I'm basically right smack dab in the middle, which has its disadvantages, but I think I made the best out of it. So with the first overall pick, or with the first round pick, I drafted Maushold. So I went into this draft wanting to use one of 3 Pokemon, Annihilape, Iron Hands, or Great Tusk. Unfortunately, all 3 were taken before I could even make a selection, so that kind of threw my draft plan out the window. This is why I winged it. So I selected Maushold. This provides me with one of the best moves in VGC double battles, Follow Me, redirecting Pokemon attacks so that it gets hit instead of the original target. This is great, especially for normal types when only one type hits it for super effective damage, and it has an immunity. Yeah, Maushold, I think being left on the board at pick 7 was criminally undervalued, so I was very happy to grab it at pick 7. For my second round pick, I went with one of the better Tailwind setters left on the board in Noivern. Noivern, being a super fast dragon flying type, helps get Tailwind up. It also means that I can spam EQ and not be affected by it because of it's a flying type. And then its hidden ability Telepathy also means I can use moves such as Discharge or Surf with no repercussions towards Noivern. Noivern doesn't take damage from its allies with Telepathy as its hidden ability. This Pokemon being super fast helps make sure that Tailwind gets up pretty much anytime I want it to. So, yeah. With the 3rd round pick, I wanted some sort of setup mon that I can place next to Maushold and let it potentially sweep my opponent's team. The Pokemon I chose was the Titan. The Titan has access to the move Belly Drum, which, in case you didn't know, it maxes its attack for half of its HP. Titan has base 170 HP and base 113 attack, plus it's got really great moveset and potential coverage moves that I can use, so I just thought Titan was a no-brainer here. I wanted to grab Abomasnow for it to let it be set up even more with Slush Rush. However, Abomasnow got taken shortly after I took the Titan, so it didn't make it back to me. My next pick, I went with one of the better fire types remaining left on the board. Almost all the good fire types were gone by this point because we're 4 rounds in, why wouldn't they be? But Iron Moth was still available. Iron Moth is surprisingly bulky fire type with great special attack and great speed. Plus, with this format allowing Paradox Pokemon, it was a no-brainer for me to take because I don't have a Paradox Pokemon yet, so I'm not going to be fighting with another Mon for its booster energy item to allow for its ability to be activated. Iron Moth is great, and we'll see how it does because the fact that it was still available means either it's not going to work out like I'm thinking it, or people are just criminally undervaluing it. Speaking of undervalued Pokemon, my 5th round pick, I took Toxtricity. Toxtricity is a flexible mon that can be used either physically or specially. Going into the draft, this was one of the Pokemon I knew I wanted to use, with Noivern being the other, just because I had never used Noivern, and it's one of the Tailwind setters that I've never used. But Toxtricity is one that I've used in Generation 9 already, and that I have already fallen in love with. I think Terastallizing helps Toxtricity benefit more than any other Pokemon on my team. It gets rid of that pesky 4x ground weakness, and can benefit from a stab boost to its many coverage moves that get boosted by Punk Rock, such as Snarl or Overdrive. With my 6th round pick, I needed a steel type. I also looked over and realized they didn't have a fairy type. So, everybody's new favorite Generation 9 Pokemon fits that bill. Tinkaton offers such a vast majority of moves on both the support side, such as the screens, Light Screen and Reflect, Thunder Wave, and also Fake Out, as well as the base 150 move Gigaton Hammer. Plus, it's another speedy Pokemon that just fits with the rest of my team. Kinda noticing a theme here. For me not having a plan, I've really drafted a team that fits really well together. My 7th round pick, I finally decided to take a Grass type. I decided that Goga being placed in Tier 4 I think is severely undervalued. 123 base HP with 100 attack or 97 special attack, it can really do whatever it wants. Plus its ability Tap Zipper allows for switching in to oncoming Grass type attacks if I'm big brained enough to do that. Well, I guess you're gonna have to stay tuned throughout the season and see if I can make that happen. With my 8th round pick, I decided to finally take some sort of Trick Room mode, just so my opponents couldn't click Trick Room and sweep my team because it's all too fast and will move second in Trick Room. So, I looked over the tier list and decided that Palossand was probably the best Trick Room sweeper left available. Plus it being tier 4, it also helped out because it meant I could take another tier 1 later on in the draft. Stay tuned. Base 35 speed is great in Trick Room, plus being Ghost Ground means it has 3 immunities with only 5 weaknesses, and one of those weaknesses actually makes the Pokemon stronger with its ability. Anytime Palossand is hit by a water type move, its defense is boosted. So yeah, it makes the Pokemon even more bulky every time it gets hit by a water type move. With my 9th pick, I took another new Pokemon that I've never used before this time, this being Bombirdier. Another Pokemon that with the benefit from Terastallizing. Its ability boosts rock type moves, and Terra rock type just makes those rock type moves do even more damage. It also gives me another option to set Tailwind, and it also has the very strong move in Parting Shot. Now for those of you who don't know, Parting Shot lowers the attacker's special attack and physical attack, and proceeds to switch out. So you can switch into Bombirdier, you can press Parting Shot, and it'll leave the battlefield right away. Which is a great pivot move, because it means your opponents are going to do less and less damage every time you switch in and switch out for it. It also gives me a Dark type, which is something I didn't have on my team yet. So that is also another benefit of Bombirdier. The 10th round pick, I wanted to get my Trick Room setter finally, and somehow Girafarig was still available. With Girafarig getting an evolution in Generation 9, it now gets access to the Eviolite item, which boosts its already decent defense and special defense. It also is immune to Fake Out, which means that I can guarantee getting Trick Room set up whenever I want to. So my Trick Room core of Girafarig plus Palossand should be decent enough to get me to do decently, so we'll see. And now the final round, round 11. I looked over my team and noticed one glaring hole. Somehow, I had gone 10 draft picks without taking a water type. I had 100 Pokemon left of 100 points left of my free points. So I looked over the tier 1 Pokemon that remained and noticed there were 2 water types that stood out to me, Azumarill and Palafin. Now knowing what I do now, I wish I would have taken the other, but that was before getting utterly destroyed by an Azumarill in the CDL, link in the description down below. I instead selected Palafin. Hero Form Palafin has base 160 attack, the highest attack stat in the format. In order to obtain these stats, Palafin has to start in the Zero mode and switch out to obtain Hero mode. It's got really good speed and great coverage moves. I think Palafin fits my team really good. It's another fast Pokemon. It's bulky enough when it gets into Hero mode that it can eat a hit. Plus, it's got really good coverage moves. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for watching my draft recap. To all the coaches in the GLDL Basque Legion division, good luck. I'm excited for this division, or for the season, excuse me. Let's have some fun matches and let the best coach win. Be sure to like and subscribe to follow along with the first season of the GLDL, and ring the bell to stay up to date with my uploads, and follow my Twitch to watch some of these battles live. Bye bye!